One, freaking David Meltzer told me to do that when I was in his studio in the Wynn Hotel 2 years ago. Yeah, man, go live more often. Go live and talk. That's what he does. He goes live and he talks about things that are going on in his life and teaches people stuff. And I am gonna raise up right now because I'm in my new chair, and it's pretty cool that it raises up like that because I've never had one do that before. Um, which is super handy because that allows me to go from chair to chair or surface to surface without needing to do a transfer board or ask somebody for help or anything like that. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about real quick do versus deal, and for me and my clients, it's a real powerful concept that allows us to just get more done, right? And a lot of people, they want to get so much more stuff done, but they don't really know how to do that. And the whole do versus deal thing is, I don't want to say a cheat code because everybody's looking for an easier way to do something, but yeah, I'm not looking for an easier way. I just want it to be doable, right? Go down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So the whole do versus deal thing is really, for instance, there's really three categories to life, right? We all play within these three categories, and everything else is just an extension of those categories. Number one is your health. So in your health, for me, after I broke my neck, like doing things that make my life easier is key, right? It's the reason that I'm able to have feeling and movement and do things, join my fraternity, Sigma Lambda Beta, and to travel and to just be healthy, right? Like despite not walking and using a wheelchair, I'm one of the healthiest people that I know. I rarely get sick. I'm pretty fit. I'm at a good weight. I eat healthy. I exercise. I'm able to do so much, right? And doing those things that really make my life easier allow me to not have to deal with these negative consequences. It's always do versus deal, right? So in my health category, my wealth category, my relationships, those three areas everybody's playing within. So all of us have these categories: health, wealth, relationships. And the whole do versus deal in my health, yeah, I'm gonna do the things that allow me to have a more healthy and awesome life. Cool. I'm gonna do those things, and it's gonna allow me to function a lot better, right? The things that I do, rather than deal with the consequences of not doing that. Like, let's just say, okay, I do go to bed at the same time every day. Great. Guess what that means? That means I don't have to deal with being tired or being inconsistent. Do versus deal. It's always going to be there. So it's like if you want something, somebody's watching. I don't even know who. But if you want something, you got to ask yourself, like, there's only really one equation: do versus deal. So let's just say, for instance, with your health, you want to have a healthier version of your body. Okay, well, there's certain things that you have to do. I'm going to do these things so that I can have a healthier body. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do some planks. I'm going to eat some pears, right? I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to do these things so I don't have to deal with a life that is a life that I don't want. I don't have to deal with being tired. I don't have to deal with doing other things. But it's like, on the other hand, the do versus deal in my relationships. My wife and I, we do for each other. We do certain things for each other so that we don't have to deal, because we're thankful that we don't have to deal with a shitty partner, right? Like that's really what it is, do versus deal. I'd rather do for my wife and her do for me from time to time without other things happening of being with crazy partners and dealing with their negativity and their nonsense. Like, no thanks. I don't want to do that. Right? So I'm going to do for her, I'm going to do for my kids because I'd rather do for them than deal with kids that I just don't know, right? Kids that I don't have a relationship with, or my wife that doesn't want to be around me, right? Because I don't do for her and she doesn't do for me. And the same thing with your relation, with your wealth, with your money, with your finances. I'd rather do a budget every month. I'd rather do certain things like get my credit uh, all set and then monitor what I do with my money rather than have to deal with the consequences of not knowing where my money is or dealing with getting caught slipping where I go to buy something and I don't have any money. And it's like the whole do versus deal is really not even just good idea. It's something that's just going to save you from a life that you don't want. Like do the things that you know to do is also the other part of that, right? Like we all pretend that like, oh, I'm not successful because I don't know what to do. That's a lie. That's a lie. You absolutely know what to do. All of us know that diet and exercise and fitness and being a kind person, working hard, being focused, prayer, meditation, we all know that these things are good things. But a lot of people don't do those things and then they have to deal with the consequences. And that's one of the things that we all go through in our life. It's like, am I willing to do what I know to do? Or am I going to deal with the consequences of not doing that thing? And we've all seen it play out, right? Like either I'm going to do my taxes on time or I'm going to deal with the late penalty. I'm going to pay my rent on time or I'm going to deal with the penalty of not doing that. Either I'm going to be kind to the people that are around me, I'm going to do what I know is right and treat people the way that I want to be treated, or I deal with the consequences of not doing that. Do versus deal is really something that is a guideline for all of us, right? And like one of my clients said to me the other day, this mindset training that we do together, the superhero training, my mindset course, all of that stuff. He's like, it's like bumper pads at the bowling alley. As long as they're in place, then yeah, I may run into them, but I'm never going to go into the gutter. And that's really the whole point with all this, because like whoever is watching this, whoever is looking at this, we all hate being stuck. Nobody wants a life that sucks, right? I broke my neck at 16 and lost the use of my body, and doctor said I would never have feeling or movement ever again. And what did I do with that? I could have just dealt with those consequences of just like, all right, well, I'm never going to have anything, so it's not worth even trying. But I was like, no, I'm going to do what I know to do. I'm going to utilize my thoughts and my words. I'm going to tell myself a brave story so that I can have a bigger life, a better life, more of a life, right? I'm going to do the things that I know to do. I'm going to pray. I'm going to meditate. Whoa, shit. I'm going to surround myself with people that are good for me, right? I'm not going to be around people that are negative and sour and, trying to tear me down. I'm going to do what I know is right. And now fast forward all these years, I got feeling head to toe. I started doing squats. I started walking recently. I married an amazing woman, my kids, I'm running businesses, right? Because I was willing to do the things that I knew to do. And it's not because those things were easy or because I absolutely always knew what to do in those situations. I definitely didn't. But I did keep going. And do versus deal is always the thing that is going to dictate your situation. Somebody in here said, I freaking broke my leg. Well, that sucks. But even if you broke your leg, right? Like there's things that you can do so that you don't have to deal with that for the rest of your life. I mean, you could just treat it like it doesn't matter and deal with those consequences, or you could not. And it's a real simple concept, but like my mentors told me, the simple things are simple to do, and they're also simple not to do. And that's the thing that I love about where I finally got to is I'm not in the business of convincing anybody of anything. I'm not here to convince you to do anything. I'm just hosting these roundtable discussions based on the things that I've learned over the last couple decades of being in a chair and learning how to have a really great life and helping other people get unstuck. That's what I do for a living. I help people get unstuck and win faster. And I've noticed that there's always going to be somebody that's negative about something, right? People hate goodness sometimes. It's people would rather be right than be happy or tear other people down because of the things that they're going through. And that sucks, right? But for me, I have the opportunity to either keep doing the things that I love to do and that I feel are worthwhile to other people. And the right people say thank you. The right people look at it as something valuable. The right people appreciate it. And that allows me to not have to deal with people that are negative because I don't personalize it and I don't look at it as an attack on me, right? People are allowed to have their opinion. That's cool. I'm also allowed to not internalize it, not personalize it, and not accept it as my own, right? Like anybody can say anything at any time. Cool. Do that. Do that, right? But just like all of us, we have to deal with the consequences of our decisions. And the whole do versus deal concept in everything that we're doing, our health, wealth, and relationships is going to dictate the type of person that we have, the type of person that we are, and the type of life that we have. So for me, it's like, yeah, I'm going to do the things that resonate with me. I'm like when I was 16 and broke my neck and then went off to college a few months later, 6 months later, I was going to do the things that I wanted to do. Like I knew for sure, like I could not hide the wheelchair. So I was like, I'm not going to hide anything else either. I'm going to do the things that resonate with me. I started to study Spanish and fashion design and started making clothes and speaking other languages. And those things opened up doors for me to keep doing other things. So I was like, sweet, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to double down on these good ideas. And for everybody watching, everybody listening, everybody in the ether, right? Do the things that resonate with you and they'll open up doors for an amazing life. So you don't have to deal with the consequences of like, man, I wish I did. Oh man, I wish I did. And it's like, I don't want to live with regret. I don't want to think, oh man, I should have, I could have, but I didn't. Like, no, do the things that resonate with you. They'll open up the doors to the right people and it'll be such an amazing thing to do. Right. And it's like, somebody said, can't be shy. Why not? You know how many things that I've done unsure of myself, insecure, like that comes with the territory. Like my hands still don't work properly after 2 decades after breaking my neck, but I still learned to sew, travel the world, get dressed, do all these things, right, that we need to do because one of the great things about doing the things that resonate with you long enough is that you end up becoming a professional figure outer. Like you're just so good at adapting and so good at pivoting and so good at not letting things get to you that the circumstances don't really matter anymore. You're powerful regardless. Like I can make money regardless of the economy because I know how to add value to other people. I can control my health, wealth, and relationships because of what I'm willing to do, right? And you can pretend, we all can pretend that we don't know what to do at any given time, but we do. We do. None of us are that stupid, right? Like, you know that going for a walk is better than doing drugs. You know that, right? You know that meditation is better than stress. You know that. You know that kind words are better than complaints. We all know that, right? So it's like, as long as I'm doing the things that I know to do, doing the things that I know are worthwhile, then I don't have to deal with a life that I don't care for. Do versus deal is existing in every aspect of your life, just like it is in mine. Like today, I had an appointment and it fell through last minute, had to cancel and then pivot, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing this. Why? Because I said I was going to do it. And keeping promises to myself is the way that I build rapport and trust with me. That's how I build my confidence, when I keep my promises to myself. That's something that I can actively do at all times. So I don't have to deal with any awkwardness or saying, oh yeah, I didn't get to that. Oh, sorry. And pretending that I didn't know what I was doing. No, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to deal with a life where people can't respect me and take me at my word because I don't respect and keep my own word to myself. Right. So it's like at every single moment, every aspect of your life and your day, there's moments where it's like, hey, am I going to do this or am I going to deal with not doing it? That's really it. It comes down to that, and it's that simple. And it's like every Friday, I'm going to be doing these roundtables. Last Friday and the Friday before that, those were all closed door sessions for me and my clients. And now there's just going to be on YouTube, right? So that people can understand and have these things so that they can just do more and have more of a successful life. My whole program with what I do is I say that I create superheroes for a living, right? I call my program superhero training. Because if 7 superheroes in the Avengers movies can save the entire universe, imagine if you and I were superheroes. Imagine if we could do more than the average. Imagine if our circumstances didn't dictate what was available and that we could just accomplish amazing things and then partner like, hey, you, other superhero, let's do things together. And having all those people together at once, like amazing things would just happen all the time. So it's like every person that goes through my program, it's only freaking 12 hours, which is crazy, ends up becoming a superhero that is bigger than their circumstance, more powerful than their circumstance, and they're able to create and do and have so much more of an abundant life that they really want, rather than deal with any type of consequences of not doing those things. And it's like, for me, that do versus deal is so key into everything that I do, right? Like even with this live, either I could do the live or I can deal with the fact that like other people know that I'm going to do it. And then they say, hey man, I went to see your live, but I didn't see it. Why didn't you do it? And I would have to make up an excuse and deal with that. And I'm just like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. Because you know what? I'm trying to avoid a life that sucks. And lying to myself and pretending sucks. We all know that. So today, wherever you are, keep that in mind. Do versus deal. What am I willing to do for my health, my wealth, and my relationships? So that I don't have to deal with the opposite in my health, wealth, and relationships. Appreciate you. Day one.